Coming up, we have the updates regarding Kaylin Bennett's mom's allegations against the university and how the university is responding.
And the UK strain of COVID-19 is here in Northeast Ohio, and the Portage County Board of Health revealed where the new strain is present.
Kent State's parking services are adding new requirements to park on campus. We know how to ensure you do not get ticketed.
The 10th anniversary of the LGBTQ+ Center is coming up in March. How they plan to keep up their work in the future.
This is TV2 News.
Good Thursday evening, Portage County. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Melissa Myers.
And I'm Troy Pearson.
A former player on the Kent State men's basketball team is the center of a growing controversy. Now, you may remember Kaylin Bennett, who gained national attention as the first autistic athlete to be signed to a Division I basketball team. Well, after 1.5 seasons, he abruptly left the team. Now his mother is using social media to suggest Bennett was mistreated here. In a series of tweets, she suggested issues with both the team and his educators. Here's a timeline of the events so far. Now, if you take a look, on December 30th, Bennett announced he wanted to leave the men's basketball team and transfer from Kent State. This past Monday, Kaylin's mother, Sonia Bennett, tweeted that his privacy was violated and tagged the Kent State men's basketball team. In that same tweet, Bennett also said Kaylin was mistreated by a university professor. Today, in a new tweet, Sonia Bennett provided more details about the alleged encounter between Kaylin and the professor and named the professor. Now, we asked the university for a comment on Monday and again today. Both times we received the same response, which included the following statement: "We take any and all accusations of inappropriate conduct seriously and are looking into the matter." We also reached out to Kaylin and his mother, and both said they didn't want to comment. Although he's no longer on the basketball team, Kaylin is still a student here, but is looking to transfer elsewhere. This is a developing story, and we will continue to update you as new details emerge.
The Portage County Board of Health has revealed the age and location of all 8 people in Northeast Ohio who have contracted the UK strain of COVID-19. Today at the Portage County Health Briefing, Medical Director Dr. Mark Arredondo confirmed that one person in Portage County had tested positive for the strain. This comes after reports that the UK variant was easier to spread than other strains of the coronavirus. And today, Governor Mike DeWine announced more lifts on restrictions.
There were 4 in Cuyahoga County, 1 in Hamilton County, 2 in Lorain, 2 in Medina, 1 in Portage, and 1 in Ross counties. And the age range for these are between 2 and 83 years of age.
Announced more lifts on restrictions regarding COVID-19 in Ohio. In his weekly meeting, the governor announced that indoor events will be able to operate at 25% capacity, while outdoor events can happen with 30% capacity. DeWine said that these lifts come while positive cases go down and vaccinations go up. If numbers continue to go down, capacities could go up in the spring. Now, Ohio's nursing homes are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Our reporter Kelsey Drennan has more on the future of long-term care facility visitations. Hi, Kelsey.
Thanks, Troy. Residents at long-term care facilities have been in isolation for a good part of the last year. But now, thanks to the vaccine, they may be opening for more visitations soon. John McCanich from Kent Ridge Senior Living spoke to our producer Rachel Gross on how visitations are working at their facility.
We're following all the Ohio Department of Health guidelines, so we're only doing the scheduled in-person visitations, the compassionate care visitations. We have very limited access to who can enter the community at this time. All staff and residents must wear a mask at all times.
Current ODH guidelines also include limiting visitations to 30 minutes and are required to take place outside of the resident's room. These visitations are limited on a county-by-county basis, and DeWine wants all facilities to be aware of their county's restrictions. But soon, these limits may be changing.
We're seeing positivity rates across the state decrease. Soon, many more nursing facilities may be able to open up to allow more visitation. So that is changing.
Ohio began vaccinating residents and staff at long-term care facilities in December of 2020. And Kent Ridge finished up their vaccines last Wednesday, with the majority of residents and staff taking the vaccine.
What it is getting us to is we have started to plan our reopening process, how we want to reopen the community, how we want to reintegrate guests into our community, how we want to reintegrate entertainment into our community. So we're actually looking at the future. We see the light at the end of the tunnel.
With the vaccine becoming more widely distributed, it's possible that the visitation restrictions and more may be lifted in nursing homes soon. For TV2 News, I'm Kelsey Drennan.
Good evening, Kent State and Portage County. I am Nick Summer with your weather report. We start off tonight with the current Northeast Ohio temperatures. We're in the high 30s, into the 43 range over here in Canton, the Kent area. Feels like about 50 degrees, kind of getting into that spring weather, but still the winter is dragging on here. Currently in Kent, it is 38 degrees with a little bit of sunshine. It feels like 50 degrees. We will be seeing more sun heading into the weekend and next week as well. Currently it is, like I said, 38 in Kent, going into the high 40s. And starting tonight around 8 p.m., it's going to be cloudy the rest of the night, 30 degrees all the way up until 12 a.m., mostly cloudy heading into the rest of the week as well. And we will be seeing more sun next week like we've been seeing recently. Kind of feels like we're getting into spring, but we're not quite there yet. But we will be seeing more sunshine this weekend. 30 degrees tonight, no rain or snow, so don't have to worry about that. But it will be on the chillier side tonight and early tomorrow morning. That is all for right now. Stay tuned for an updated weather report and your 7-day forecast.
As the governor continues to push people to get the coronavirus vaccine, we'll tell you why the African American community may be reluctant to do so.
And find out how Kent State's LGBTQ+ Center is celebrating their 10-year anniversary, coming up when TV2 News returns.
More of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education.
No one receives a diploma alone.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
The vaccine rollout continues in Ohio, a continued effort on the part of state and local leaders is getting shots to individuals in the Black community.
TV2's Mars Anderson joins us now with more on why doing so isn't as easy as it seems.
Only 7% of Black Americans have received the COVID-19 vaccine so far. The number, disproportionate to other U.S. demographics. To understand why, you need to understand this piece of Black history. Lisa Rose Rodriguez, epidemiologist and contributor for the Cleveland Observer, says the Tuskegee experiment is a factor in Black Americans' distrust in the medical system, where in 1932, 399 Black men were not properly treated for syphilis even when penicillin became available.
African American people are normally very reticent to seek new treatments. Right now, African Americans are being offered the COVID vaccine, and you don't have to test positive for COVID to have the COVID vaccine.
40 years after Tuskegee, fashion student Nadia Boone is well informed and understands what's at stake transferring schools during a pandemic and feels proof in numbers matter.
I think that once more Black people get the vaccine, other Black people would be like, you know what, this can actually help us, this will actually be beneficial to us.
Boone says simply speaking on the importance of the vaccination, getting vaccinated and spreading the word to other African Americans could push them in the right direction.
I have a Black doctor and she was like, I took the vaccine, everyone in this building took the vaccine. I really think you should take it. And I was like, you know what, it's my doctor, I'm going to trust this.
People who are vaccinated can help control the spread.
Microaggressions due to prejudice fueled by systemic racism has led to the neglect and mistreatment of the African American community inside and outside of the hospital. According to a Kaiser Family Foundation survey, only 42% of Black Americans said they would consider taking a vaccine. In addition, 7 out of 10 African Americans say the health system treats people unfairly based on race, very or somewhat often.
We are not considered credible when complaining about pain. Making it more convenient and recognizing the way racism causes Black and brown people not to seek help from the doctor.
Time magazine also reported from a Kaiser Family Foundation survey that 35% of Black adults say they definitely or probably would not get vaccinated. Reporting from the TV2 newsroom, I'm Mars Anderson.
Welcome back to your Thursday night weather report. We start off with temperature here in Kent. It is currently 34 degrees. It feels like 50, kind of like the spring weather we've been feeling. We have winds coming from the east-southeast at 5 miles an hour. And right now across the state of Ohio, we are seeing temperatures upwards of 45 degrees down south by Cincinnati and Dayton. And then come over to our area in Akron, and Steubenville, we're still kind of in the high 30s to low 40s, so still stagnant at those temperatures. Tonight it will be cloudy heading into tomorrow morning as well, 31 degrees. The sun will be setting here shortly around 6:12. No need to worry about rain or snow, but the sun will be going away for a little bit. Now, your 7-day forecast, so heading into the weekend, we're going to see some high temperatures all the way up to 54 degrees, but there will be rain all weekend, so kind of a bummer. And then early next week as well, more sun, but cloudy as well, so I'll take the sun any day. 46 degrees is going to be the high for next week. Still kind of feeling like we're getting into spring, but we're still kind of stuck in that Cleveland winter. That is all for your Thursday night weather report. I am Nick Summer. Stay warm, Kent State.
All right, thanks, Nick. In an effort to better accommodate Kent State students, the Counseling and Psychological Service Leadership Team has been reconstructed. Multiple doctors have transitioned into new roles to help further shape the growth of these services. Now, according to Dr. Carrie Berta, these services will help maximize capacity and accessibility to help meet the needs of students.
The LGBTQ+ Center is coming up on 10 years since it has been at Kent State. The center plans to continue with its work here in Kent. Our own Aaron Sullivan has more on the story.
The LGBTQ+ Center here on Kent State's campus is about to reach its 10-year anniversary come March 11th. Director of the center, Ken Detlefson, is celebrating by remembering the center's history.
So it started in 2010. That was the year that the center launched. There were several key partners that really were working on trying to make it a reality.
Despite all the progress they have made, the center plans on continuing their progress as long as the university can provide for them too.
And we're not done. Like, we're going to move eventually to the first floor or the second floor of the student center. You know, going to continue to advocate for that. And when we have support from the university, it's just there's no budget to renovate the student center right now.
Ditlevson said their plans for the future are what they have always been, to continue progress in inclusivity on campus.
To continue to work on inclusivity, in particular for our students and communities of color, our trans students, and then other areas of campus that aren't well represented or well integrated into our work. So inclusivity, advocating and making change to be more supportive of LGBT individuals, and then wellness.
Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Erin Sullivan.
Kent State Parking Services are now using license plate recognition, or LPR. This means they'll be checking permits and license plate numbers to enforce parking across campus. If the number is wrong or not in the system at all, you could still be ticketed. You can contact Parking Services to register your correct license plate number with the phone number at the bottom of your screen.
The Career Exploration and Development Center at Kent State hosted a career fair virtually today through Handshake. The students attending met with multiple companies in both group and one-on-one sessions. Students also shared elevator pitches to the employers in their one-on-one sessions. In the group sessions, companies focused more on their businesses' cultures.
The effectiveness of this virtual fair that they have seen is, they get to come into this 10-minute space that's just you and them and have a conversation, and it's quiet and there's not quite that hustle and bustle. And so they do find it effective. I think we all miss the person-to-person interaction, but there is that effectiveness that's happened.
And today, the Biden administration released a report about the murder of a journalist in 2018. The intelligence report concludes the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, approved the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Former President Trump's administration had the same information that confirmed the killing but refused to acknowledge the death was approved by bin Salman.
Breaking news out of Washington, the House passed a bill known as the Equality Act, which would preserve legal protections for LGBTQ Americans by amending existing civil rights laws to prevent businesses and institutions from discriminating against people based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The bill passed by a vote of 224 to 206, with 3 Republicans joining Democrats in voting yes. The bill will head to the Senate, where it needs 60 votes to advance.
And the Kent State women's basketball team took on the University of Buffalo Bulls last night. The highlights and more coming right up in sports.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before so this saved me.
I really believe in you,
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
And welcome back to TV2 News. I'm Jack Burney with your sports report. The Kent State women's basketball team looked to punch their ticket to the MAC tournament last night as they welcomed in the Buffalo Bulls. Let's go to the MAC Center and take a look at the action. Here we see Kent State wearing their pink uniforms in their annual Play for K game. Picking things up in the first quarter, Katie Shoemate hits the pull-up jumper. Those were 2 of her 17 points on the night for Kent State. Claire Kelly with the lob inside to Nyla Blackford, who kicks it out to Lindsay Thal, who hits the 3. Thal is now alone in second place on the all-time three-point list for Kent State. But here comes Buffalo. Deasia Fair, coast to coast, lays it in. Next possession, Deasia Fair doing work. Her shot gets blocked by Katie Shoemate, but she recovers for the layup. Fairhead, 23 points on the night for Buffalo. Moving into the second half, Lindsay Thal in the post with a nice flashy pass to Nyla Blackford, who puts it in. Blackford on the very next possession muscles it in. She had 18 points and 9 rebounds on the night for Kent State, but Deasia Fair was not done. Hits the tough floater after the nice crossover move there, but Kent State would come back. Claire Kelly, step back 3 here to cut the Bulls lead to 2 late in the fourth, but here comes Cheyenne McEvans for Buffalo. Step back, splash. She gives Buffalo a 4-point lead on that one, but later in the fourth, Claire Kelly hits the layup to give Kent State the victory. Here's what Mariah Modkins had to say after this one.
Always know we're going to get their best, and it's going to be a nice physical battle. They're always well coached, and it's just a good matchup every time we play them. But I think that this win really, I think, helped us even more because we only played them one time. We only played them one time this year. Usually we played them twice, and it's one of our tougher games when we play them. But I think this was a great win for us, just building on what we started this past week at Northern Illinois, and I think it's something that we can really build on going forward, gaining confidence for everyone on the team.
And first place in the MAC is up for grabs tonight and tomorrow as the 8-1 Kent State volleyball team welcome in the 9-0 Bowling Green Falcons for a 2-game series. The Golden Flashes are led by reigning MAC volleyball athletes of the week, Alex Hafner and Savannah Matthews. Hafner is second in the nation in assists per game and second on the team in aces, while Matthews leads the conference in points and kills per set. You can watch both tonight and tomorrow's matchup at KentStateSports.com. And a quick score update, Kent State is trailing in the first set 18-13. And from the hardwood to the diamond, Kent State baseball's weekend series against Tennessee Tech will now be played here in Kent due to forecasted weather issues in Tennessee. The Flashes will open their home slate this weekend with a 3-game series against the Golden Eagles. The 3-game series will be closed to the media, scouts, and public, but you can still stream and follow the games with live stats on KentStateSports.com. And Mike DeWine today officially announced that the Cleveland Indians will be allowed to host 30% of their fans at home games to start the season. Some regulations that will need to be taken by fans and stadium employees include mandatory mask wearing, contactless and ticketless entry via the MLB Ballpark app and the Indians app, and seating in pods of no more than 6 individuals. And I don't know about you viewers at home, but I'm pretty excited to be able to attend some baseball games safely this season. And that's all for your sports report. I'm Jack Burney. Have a great night, Portage County.
And coming up, the City of Kent's Fire Department is holding their 9th annual Polar Plunge to raise scholarship money for students at Kent Roosevelt High School.
About physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Can we get strawberries? Okay. Firefighters and students, part of the City of Kent, are embracing the cold weather in an effort to raise money for students at Kent Roosevelt. TV2's Kyle Vassell has the details.
That's right. Today I spoke with Brad McDougall about the fire department's 9th annual Polar Plunge. Take a look. This Saturday, the City of Kent's Fire Department is holding its 9th annual Polar Plunge fundraiser. There, participants will jump into frigid waters, all for raising scholarship money for the students at Kent Roosevelt High School.
We cut a big hole. We try to have a lot of people there. And the restaurant is open at the Overlook, so people can go in there and have lunch. This year, actually, we're going to try to get back to normal, almost normal again. Still, we're going to have public personal distancing and face masks. But the kids go there, they go onto the ice, they jump into the water, they come out of the water, and then they can go home.
After the fundraiser is over with, the fire department awards 2 students with a $1,000 scholarship. To be eligible for the scholarship, students must fill out an application before the fundraiser starts.
I think we had about 20 applications last year, and like we said, we picked 4 scholarships. It used to be that you had to be interested in a medical field or a firefighting field, but now it's open to anybody who's interested in continuing their education. The only criteria is that they be a resident of the Kent school system. So that means either they live in the city of Kent or Franklin Township or Sugar Knolls.
For people who plan to participate, there is no sign-up process. Participants will only have to make a donation when they arrive.
Individual jumper will make a donation, and it's no specific. It can be $1, it can be whatever. And then people who show up also donate. And then if you can't make it that day, they can make a donation to the Kent Firefighters Local 721, which is the union of the fire department, and they can make a donation that way. And the money only goes to that fund. It's not used for anything else.
Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Kyle Vassell.
You know, that made me cold just watching it. I don't know about you, but I personally wouldn't. I don't know if I would really jump into a freezing cold lake. What about you?
If the temperatures were right enough, potentially, but, you know, we'd have to see what that was there. So.
I mean, if it's for a good cause, then fine. Well, that'll do it for our show tonight.
You can always find our top stories online at kentwired.com and our social media at KentWired on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Troy Pearson.
And I'm Melissa Myers. Have a great night, Portage County.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.